of the Awful Block. My name is Patty. I'll be your host. Mike is taking it away with Super Hydlide. Go ahead, Mike.
Wait, what was my game?
So this is Super Hydlide. It's actually the best Hydlide game, which is a low bar somewhere in a sewer. I call it my favorite 12-bit game because as you're going to see, it's not an 8-bit game, but it definitely doesn't look like a 16-bit game. It's actually a Sega Genesis game, despite having the title Super in it. And what is the file name that won?
Looks like it's me, Dio.
All right, so is it capital I, then lowercase ts?
Yes.
Okay,
Capital
and then
M,
capital M?
E. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I know the alphabet.
So it's the one next to N.
And then is Dio all caps?
It's just Dio. D capital and then I.
All right, so
lowercase.
Okay.
That's not
Okay.
exciting.
There it is.
It was I.
It's okay. There we go. So we are gonna roll a bit for 14 health. This is actually really important. Even though the monk has the lowest health, we actually need as high health as we can get for this run, especially for the initial grind. And we're gonna start off with a song once I start, and we are going to start in 3, 2, 1, and go. The fastest, cause it's a speed to run. We're throwing some coins in a pond, and it's really kind of a chore. But this is the fastest way to get to that level 4. And you need to do this 24 times. And I'm already starting to lose count, but I'd rather sing this song. Oh, it's Awful Block. I guess it's kind of fun, even though that's forbidden by Games Done Quick. And I am staff and supposed to enforce no fun. We're throwing the coins. Actually, not really, because I'm not losing them somehow. I guess I have a fishing line that I use to pick the coin up. And every time it says we're lucky, we get 30 XP. We need 700. And I think, okay, we need 3 more.
What is going on?
This is the fastest way to grind. I'm not even joking.
You wanted me to be a part of this.
I wanted your reactions, and you're doing beautifully. Okay, so now we're going to level up. We're going to hope for good health RNG. Oh, that's really good.
Yay!
Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, we're fine. I was just afraid. So you can have anywhere from 20 to 50 health RNG, and I got the average, which is 35, which is perfectly fine. Because this game is so random that it is its own randomizer. And we are going to the shop to get a bunch of medicines and rations of food because this game was not translated by native speakers of English. And there we go. We have the rations of food. And as you might know, we're going really fast. On fastest settings, because this is a good speed game, because you can set it to fastest, you actually step, each step is 2 frames. And we're equipping the dagger because that is the best weapon we can afford, and we are going to the first dungeon if this NPC gets out of my way. NPC is one of the most brutal enemies in this game.
You watched too much of my run.
Oh, and by the way, I'm not gonna lie, this game has some really hot jams, and the overworld theme is really great, except we're almost never gonna be in the overworld.
Hot jams, ugly graphics.
Yeah, exactly. So, whoa! So I do actually have a donation drive for this game. For every time there's a butt clench moment, so if I gasp like that, I'm gonna donate $10. Even if you, so I like people to get along with this. Even if you only donate $1 for this, you'll donate at least $30 or $40 because as I like to say, if you don't have at least 25 or 30 butt clenching moments or heart attack inducing moments in a Super Hydlide run, it's not a real Super Hydlide run. And let's see, so we are going to get the talisman, which we need to get because we are going to sell it for a lot of money, and it basically solves all of our money problems in the game. Yeah, exactly, woo! 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 And we got talisman. And even though we're zooming on fastest, we're gonna set it to fast pretty soon. I'm sorry, we don't have all the fast. We only have some of the fasts. And that's because on fast, the game just demonstrated, that's 2. No. I'll count that one, okay. But, so yeah, see, because you move the fastest on fastest, you also die the fastest on fastest. And I don't really want to fight enemies if I can help it, because I don't have the Stone of Warrior yet. We're fine. Okay. Because the Stone of Warrior gives me auto fire, which alone triples my DPS, and also gives me an attack point increase. Okay, so hello, vampire. So that vampire mostly ignored me. There are good monsters and bad monsters. Don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. Oh, dark guys. Oh, it's all good. Okay, so that is an off-screen enemy. Enemies can be one tile off-screen, and you can't see them, but they can still hit you.
Why?
Because super Hydlide, Keizaron. Because super Hydlide.
How are you so like calm some of these times? Like every single time was a butt clench moment for me.
So there's a very funny way the damage formula works in this game, which you might as well get into now. So it works pretty normally at first. It's the enemy's attack power times your defense power inverted on 8-bit integer. So for example, if you have 0 armor, it's 255 and so forth. And then it's divided by 16. However, if you get hit down to 10 health or less, I'm gonna set the speed to slow, because if I don't, this boss will actually be impossible. It is actually, ironically, fastest to set the speed to slow at times.
Game's done slow.
And we're gonna fight Hexsmoke. Oh, please, Hexsmoke, please cooperate. But all it does is tease and berate. Yeah, see. So Hexsmoke is incredibly random. See, ignore the name, it's actually Hexsmoke, because we're PG. And the Tools Disputer, the Axeman, actually told me how this works. Where it spawns is random, when it turns is random, and whether it turns is random. And I'm getting really terrible RNG. So now it's nighttime, as you can see. So this game has a day-night cycle. If you are actually outside for too long, you will get sleepy, and eventually you'll have so little attack power you can't actually kill a single enemy, even the weakest slimes. Wow, this is some amazingly bad RNG. Also, I'm playing it really safe because I don't want to fall off, because you see all that blue sky. I'm on the top of a 199 floor tower. I kind of fall to my death there. Oh, that's actually really good. Let's see if I can get it. Oh no! Missed input. It's fine. Of course.
Living up to his name.
Exactly. What the heck in smoke? No! So those ting-ting-tings are the boss dodging. I'm at level 4. I'm still pretty under-leveled for this. Okay, we're gonna take this really carefully. Nice. Okay. We beat the first boss. There's only 4 in this game. And now we have a Cloud Stone, so we won't fall to our deaths. If we fall, we'll just slowly float down, because super Hydlide.
Right.
And we are gonna go to 198th floor, and then we're going to save. So we're gonna do our first grind in the game, and you have a time for a quick donation, Patty.
You got it. We have a $40 donation from someone you might recognize by the name of Brosentia.
Ooh! Big shout out to Brosentia. Unfortunately, he cannot be here. He's being a good husband, taking care of Justin, who broke his hip. He was going to do commentary for this game, but unfortunately he cannot. So
now you're stuck with me.
Exactly.
Well, he made sure to show up for Awful Block anyway, in a ways. He says, Brosentia here. Husband broke his hip, so I couldn't come this year. To be fair, Super Hydlide runner hasn't even gotten a sub 35. So whatevs. Thank you all for your donations, viewers. With every bad game on GDQ, an angel grows its wings. Not a particularly attractive angel, the Steve Buscemi of angels.
Thank you, thank you.
Love you, bro.
Hello, fellow angels. Thanks, Brosentia.
So I'm getting the Stone of Warrior because it gives me auto fire, which is very important for the first grind. And I also got the Life Water, which is just important as a marathon safety, which heals your health. Once you go down to 0, it'll heal it back up to 20. And speaking of Brosentia, he doesn't even have a sub-hour time. So I do have a little bit of another donation drive. If someone wants to donate the date of this game's release, 1990, they can make Brosentia do the sub-hour. I did talk to him about this. He is totally okay with it. So if you want to donate $1,990 to make Prosencha get the sub hour. I do want him to get it. So, and unlike Kid Cool, he might actually honor this promise.
Ooh. He's been trying really hard on that.
Yeah, it's a really difficult game. I hate it.
And NPC plays all sorts of garbage.
Yeah.
All right, so this is the first grind. We want Dark Eyes and Vampires because they give the most experience, but really you just want a lot of enemies to spawn. So interesting note about the Monk and the Priest actually get a 50% experience bonus before you're level 5, which is why I get up to level 4 and not level 5, so I can retain this experience bonus for the first grind. It's also worth noting that they only need half experience for the spells. Oh, geez. The butt clench is real.
Mike, stop.
Mike, please.
Oh, it's not gonna stop.
Mike!
No, this is so hard. You have no idea.
The life bar is supposed to be red, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and it's worth noting that the only save points are whenever I sleep at an inn. So, you know, unlike Animorphs, I can't bail myself out with the password.
I still couldn't bail myself out. I mean, I'm banned anyways, you know.
Fair. Oh no. Okay. We're good.
Oh, Mike, you didn't finish talking about how the life works.
Oh yeah, so it works pretty normally, you know, but once you get a hit that takes you down to 10 health or below, even if that hit kills you, you go down to 10 health. Then after that, it just halves until you die. So it's 10, 5, 2, 1, and then you die. So I know how I'm getting mauled, and I know how it works, but I'm still getting mauled a lot, and the butt clench is still real, and you're still gonna probably experience a near heart attack or two. So you gotta have a strong heart, low blood pressure for this game, you know, stay hydrated. Be healthy.
Still better than Hydlide on the
Yes, still better than virtual highlight. This game is actually 60 frames per second.
Yeah.
Woo, frames!
Yeah!
You can't really notice it because it's actually, you know, like 2 or 3 frames of animation, but it is. I'm not lying. Oh, hello.
Oh,
Spicy. Oh no.
I don't know though. Super Hydlide, like, I mean, virtual Hydlide, it's easier to save the frames when there's only like 8 of them. So,
Yeah.
you know.
This is true. There is no frame perfection in this game because you just go all over the place. So it's evening. That's why it's yellow.
What was that?
No other reason why it would be yellow. And we're actually going back to the first town because that's the only place where you can level up. You need to level up in temples, and it's also a place where you get the first tier of spells, which is very important for this speedrun. Spells are very, very good in this game. We will get the illusion spell, which is useful, especially for the final dungeon. The antidote spell is actually not used very much in the run, and spells cost experience, which is why I had to do that grind. Time spell is useful for some shopping. Cure spell is useful so you don't die. Learn spell is useful for disarming chests, and the move spell is very useful because it lets you teleport between towns. The only condition is, aside from this town, the first town, you have to sleep in the town. So, everyone, should I save 10 seconds, or should I take it safe?
Save.
Oh, let's do it.
10
So,
seconds.
so just FYI, if I die here, I actually lose about 4 minutes. But it shouldn't be a problem. It'll be. Yeah.
You got this.
So the reason why this is a slight risk is because once it gets to 2,300 hours, as I said before, you get sleepy. This game is a very real game. The reason why I'm collecting the rations of food is because if you don't have rations of food every 6 hours, you start to die. And the game just slowly starves you to death. When you play this game for the first time, it's actually not uncommon to die in the first town because you have no idea that you need the rations of food to live.
Shout outs to Resentia for that.
Yeah, this game is a very real game. In fact, Keizaron, if you want to read the back of the box, you don't have to read the entire story, just the bullet points in the back, so you know about what this game is all about.
Oh, this is lovely. All right, so this game provides such things as unique combination of action
okay,
and
this
role
is
playing.
interesting.
Butt-clenching moments, clearly. What is going on, Mike?
That's the illusion spell. It makes everyone do a ballet, and more importantly, it makes them turn away from you. Okay, please get away from me. Please get away from me. Please get away from me.
Right.
So we save the 10 seconds to lose 20 seconds dodging. Good trade-off. Okay, we're safe.
Characters graphic change with equipment.
It's true.
Okay. Realistic physics of time and weight.
You're seeing it right now. I have to sleep. If I don't sleep, I can't kill any enemies.
Specially created music and stereo sound. What?
Exactly.
And
the hot
mono.
jams.
That's upsetting.
Please get out. Oh, jeez.
You know the best thing about that is that like only one model of Genesis has stereo sound, and that's only in the headphone jack.
Of course.
But it is technically correct. You can have stereo sound.
so we're collecting the silver sword. It's important to get the best weapon in the game, which is coming up after I do this dungeon. And got the funkiest tune in the game. And that's all you'll hear. Because I'm not really in the overworld. That's it. Sorry. It's a good tune. I love this game's soundtrack. Yeah, I agree. Boo me. Thank you. And just like the game said, it's going to be a great day in the world of Fairyland, which is the world of Hydlide. So we're going through a secret passage to sneak by this warehouse. In fact, you better get out. Don't worry, we'll do that. Okay, so we're checking this treasure chest. Seem to be no traps. Treasure chest, there's nothing. Okay. We gotta really make sure. My hand, there's no traps. Treasure chest, there's nothing. Check again, the treasure chest is a false spawn. They were steering down to the caves! So, you actually have to check that treasure chest twice. That's the only way you can get into this dungeon. And by the way, you're supposed to have a lamp here. It's all okay. Don't worry about it. The lamp gives you 1 tile of light, and oh wow, that was an enemy. I guess that's a buck clench. Keeping it tight.
What's happening?
Okay, I need to actually be really careful on magic use here because I need at least 45 MP to both disarm the chest and use a move spell to warp out of here.
This music pops.
Exactly. This is the best song in the game. It's called Dragon. And speaking of that, we're gonna fight a dragon with 2 exclamation points.
In the dark?
Is this it? Is this the path? Did I mess up? Okay, now I'm a little. Okay, this happened during. Okay, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. I just got a little confused. Oh, the game is unconfusing me. Okay.
Mike, I'm scared.
I'm scared. All right, and let's see if we have the life water attached, and we're good. We're gonna fight a dragon.
Woo! Woo!
So the dragon's actually pretty tough because you have to basically point blank it in the head like that. We didn't quite get it in time, but that's fine. Oh, you're not supposed to bump in the head like that. All right, we're good. Don't ask me why everything's ugly yellow. So like normally when I see a game in like these beautiful HD monitors and in SCART quality, I'm like, wow, I can really see all the pixels and the amazing, pixel art and the great colors. In this game, I was like, ew, yucky. I can really see how ugly this game is. All right, so, oh no. Okay. We got cures. We got cures for days. Oh, okay. All right, and we have enough magic to warp out of here. So we are going to get the best weapon in the game. Can you guess what it is?
A wolf? A dog?
Dog. So, sorry, please don't sue us, Disney. It's actually a lightsaber. And look at how much my attack goes up. This is actually a hidden weapon in the game. You need the silver sword to equip it. Yeah, it has about 80 attack power, and I'm good for weight. So we are zooming along, and we met joke percent. Thank all of you. We beat CGDQ in 1 incentive. I love you all. And we are going to do some shopping, so you have time for a donation, Patty.
Oh, I love when you say that. Mr. P.R. Miller donates $200.
Nice.
There-
So PR Miller is a self-professed Hydlide fanboy, no joke.
That sounds awful,
at least
but
one of them.
good- that's good. There is a rumor that if you don't get a PB, Jim the Knight joins Smash Ultimate next month. No pressure, and good luck.
Let's see. I'm just double-checking rations of food. Oh, yeah, we got plenty.
Can you imagine a Smash character who moves at a different frame rate than all the other characters?
All right, so we're gonna get a bunch of herbs from a guard. It's kind of interesting. You can get 15 herbs from this guard, but normally you can only buy 10. The bundles of herbs are important because they restore magic, and magic is very important for this one. Also, that is actually the prompt you get when you haven't triggered like the proper text for talking to an NPC. And we're gonna visit the King of the Heavenly City. Really important conversation. I wonder why I was chosen to be the king of this palace. What wisdom? I wonder why I was chosen to play this game, but you know what? Somehow, people let me play this game for Awful Block.
It's a relatable mood, Mike.
It is.
Yeah, for real. Totally.
So the king of the Water Palace must have lost a bet with the king of the Heavenly Palace, because that is the only way to access the Water Palace until you get the ID card. And as we slowly fall down a beautiful pirouette, we're gonna get a lot of quest items in this area, not the least of which is the first one. And I got the Sega crew here. It's all good. They like this game too. You gotta rep the Sega. I got, Lizstar, the Queen of Genesis, and, Faust, and Cypherin, and we have the Sega pack. So very important item. We gotta use it right away. So, you have got some Sega products. It's a joke! So this game has items that are solely in there to troll you, and they're completely useless, and they're jokes. And the Japanese version says, ha ha ha, it's a joke. So the king likes eccentric things, so we give him the dragon's fang so he can raid his treasure room.
It's funny because this game is a joke.
It really is. So we have the stone. Oh, we're moving a bit more slowly. Okay, let's check it out. Oh, wow, it's 10,000 weight. Okay, well, let's check it. It's heavy!
Yeah?
It's a joke! And so for those who are wondering how slowest speed works, it's a good workout. Really get to see the scenery of this game. All its beautiful browns and yellows.
Whoa, it's virtual highlight mode.
So even if you're not encumbered, this is how fast you move on slowest. So that's why there's no slowest percent, because we would be behind another 3 hours. It says Jim Scroll. That is actually Jim Scroll. It's a mistranslation from the Japanese. But that's because Jim, or Jimothy Esquire III, as I like to call him, is the hero of the original Hydlide. And this is the ointment. Very important item. The cracked skin has healed. It's a joke! Hey, skincare, no joke game. Also, that is actually the Nivea cream in the Japanese version, so you're welcome, Nivea, for giving you the free plug. Although maybe they're not so welcome because I'm playing Super Hydlide. All right, so now we have the Yumi doll. Hi, I'm Yumi.
Hi, Yumi.
Hello.
It's a joke!
I don't know what to take seriously anymore.
And we have the brush. Your smelly feet has been cured. It's a joke! I'm sorry if the room was a bit smelly. I've used the brush. I'm not smelly anymore. So we're gonna get 2 more levels here? Oh, we don't speak of the Smash Room.
Got a donation from SSF for
Everyone go
$2
to
million.
our second grind.
Just kidding. It's a $101
All refreshed.
donation,
My body
they say.
feels
It's a
re-energized.
joke.
It's going to be a great day. Isn't it a great day, everyone?
Maybe.
4:30 a.m. Game Prime Gamer O'Clock.
I'm crying.
Oh, if you're crying now, you're gonna cry at this grind, Keizaron.
Yeah, which
So here's the
reason are
actual.
you-
I don't know
Here's the
anymore.
actual quest item. And by the way, you can actually throw away quest items and soft lock yourself. In this game. Like, and they
so
do
animal.
weigh something, so you can't encumber yourself with the weight. That's why I was moving so slowly when I had the stone. And this is the quote-unquote safest grind of the game, as you can see right there. Don't worry, the butt clench is still real. I had more than 10 health. It's all good. I could take at least 4 hits.
You know, when I
But
think
those 4
of-
hits happen in a quarter second, so it's not really that safe. But it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
When I think of a deadly dungeon filled with a bunch of monsters, I think smooth elevator jazz music.
Yep. Oh, did I actually? No, I did not. That's good.
Whoa, Star Wars really changed.
So, so I'm encumbered because bronze shield drops. The bronze shield drops from these enemies are random. You can kill 10 and get none. You can kill 10 and get like 5 or 6. And you can tell you're encumbered not just from moving more slowly, you turn more slowly because maximum realistic physics of time and weight. Now is also probably a good time to go over the classes. So basically, the warrior is not so great because it's in balanced all-rounder class, but it doesn't get the experience bonus that the monk does, and it doesn't really gain as much attack power as the monk does in the long run. Ow. The thief is a really bad class. It looks good because it has like high strength and high health to start off with, but you get no spells. Like I would not even be able. I'd maybe be able to cast 1 spell and not even the move spell if I was playing the thief and I was this level right now. And also, I would actually be too stupid to push the grave that took me to the dragon. That's actually an intelligence check, and the thief is really dumb because you have to be smart enough to push a grave. The priest gets the bonuses that the monk gets, and also the half XP for the spells, the first tier. But its physical stats are so weak that it's not really as strong as the monk. Okay, that's another butt clench. I'm at least at 10 right now.
Yes, you are at 10.
Oh, I'm actually at 10. Okay, and you have time for some donations because I'm gonna be here for a while.
You got it. We've got a donation from Royal Blue Wizard for 25 smackaroonies.
nice.
Super Hydlide is definitely the best Hydlide. Good luck to Mike and his sing-along. Oh, in the game he's playing too. Shout out to Awful Block, the best block, and everyone who runs Kuso, especially
So
you.
what's worse
Mike,
than
Liz,
getting
and
hit by
off and
two
everyone I
enemies?
missed.
So one enemy is two enemies at once. That drains your health twice as fast. Let's see. And go ahead with the donations because we're going to be here for a while.
Oh, you got it. I don't know if you heard me before, but we got a donation from SSF for $2 million. Just kidding. It's for $101, and they say, it's a joke!
I love it.
We've got a $500 donation from Clades. Woo! I had to donate during the worst, best. I had to donate during my favorite GDQ block. My parents both survived cancer due to early detection, so I'm happy to throw some money at the cause. Donation goes to playing Mega Man DOS in the correct mode. Shout out to anyone watching from Catgirl Bargains. They know who they are. Thanks, Clades.
Y'all have bad taste.
But that's why we love you.
It's not like we don't.
Exactly.
Got $100 from her doctor. Awful block is best block. I agree.
I agree.
Let's get some cheers for that. Come on, it's awful block.
Okay. Oh, wow. I have enough experience. That was actually a super good grind. So now we have enough experience to get 3 levels, which takes us to level 11. And our health gain to this run has actually been pretty good so far, so that is a fortunate thing. Health actually ends up being your most important stat for the end game, simply because of the final boss, which I'll explain once I get to the final boss. And now we're doing another shopping trip to just stock up on supplies. As you can see, you need as many healing supplies as possible. We use the time spell to make sure the shops are open, because with the realistic physics of time and wait, shops close at night. This song is called Omise, it means store in Japanese. And the menuing is instant and cumbersome because you can only buy one at a time. You have time for one more donation.
Excellent. We have a $100 donation from the Axeman. Big thanks to Mike for introducing me to Super Hydlide. It is one of the most interesting and high-quality games I've ever tested. It's a joke!
I love it. So we're gonna do a mini grind here. We're only gonna go to 6,000 experience here. And then we're gonna go through the rest of the dungeon and collect the spacesuit and space compass. And don't worry about it. We are on actually somewhat tight time constraints here because it is actually, we only have so much time to go through the dungeon like this. So we want to get a fast grind, which is actually happening pretty well so far. Those turrets are pretty dangerous, but fortunately what's nice about this grind is that you consistently get these defenders, which give you 105 experience, which is a really good amount of experience for this area. And they are quicker to kill and not as deadly as the turrets. And the turrets can't spawn in because they're stationary. Also worth noting that there is a limit of 4 enemies on the screen at once, so you don't really want enemies in the bottom right corner because it means you can't hit them. But as long as you have at least only one down there, you can, wow, I'm getting really good spawns, actually. All right, so, whoop. Oh, hello, video game. Thank you for the bronze shields. And you have time to read at least one more donation.
You got it. We got a $20 donation from, and I'm probably going to mess this up, Giorno Giovanna. They say, hi, GDQ. I'm watching this in live for the first time just because of this super game. Super Hydlide, it's a joke! Shout outs to Mike for running this for a good cause. Greetings from South Korea. Hello.
Oh, nice. I like it. All right, so once we get to 6,000 experience, which we have, we're gonna go through the rest of the dungeon. There's some important items we do want to pick up in this dungeon. And we're mostly gonna do it in the fast speed because, as I said, fastest is the fastest way to move, but fast, you have the equal amount of DPS because it's 2-frame auto fire, and we have the sun oil, very important quest item. We have to use it right away, and it will save you from the heat. It's a joke! So sun oil, so if you're wondering about sun oil, because you'd be like, wouldn't real sun oil just be like, it burns? things. Well, the truth is that in Japanese, sun oil is suntan lotion, and it's just a direct translation from the Japanese. And you have time for another donation as I'm traveling through this dungeon.
I love when you tell me that. Nemo donates $50. Just wanted to give a big thank you to everyone. The runners, the staff, the audience, the animals harmed during the Animorphs run. Everyone. You all make this event something I look forward to time and time again.
fine.
Awful block. Hype.
All right, so you can disable these lasers, and they don't kill you, although that defender will. But it takes too long to disable the lasers, so we just don't mess with them. Yeah, this game is not for people prone with weak hearts. This is a game that steals yourself against all sorts of danger. And now we're gonna get the spacesuit, which is actually a pretty good suit of armor. It gives us 40 armor class, if I remember correctly. So it lets us take another hit or two, which doesn't really make much difference because that's like another frame or two of damage that we can take. It's all good. It's all good. And now we're gonna try to get a space compass in this. Next.
What's your definition of good?
It's kind of messed up after all the bad games I've played because I actually legitimately like this game. It's really weird and janky and not good and really cheap like that with the off-screen enemies. But guess what? There's never any downtime. It is a unique combination of action and role-playing. And we're gonna get a space compass. Oh, in the chest there's nothing. There appears to be something inside. So that is the game's very poor way of telling you that you have not triggered the space compass. To trigger the space compass, you actually have to go to a computer console on the opposite side of this floor and observe it twice so you can know about the lore of the previous denizens of Fairyland. Whoa! Okay, that's another butt clench. Where am I at right now?
16.
Okay, sounds about right. Okay, I have to be very aware of my magic at this point because again, I need to be able to cast a move spell and disarm the chest. And if I'm not able to do that, I'm actually really screwed here because if you cannot disarm a chest, you never get to what's inside the chest. And as you can see, I've actually traveled a long ways into this dungeon to get the space compass. And so Keizaron,
Yes.
I do have this review of the game. This game was actually made a list way back in 2004 of the 30 best RPGs ever. The list had no Super Nintendo RPGs. There were no Final Fantasies because the author said this. They're all bad except for 1, 2, 9, and Tactics, I think the author said.
Right. God.
And so, did you want to read the first paragraph
Fun stuff right here.
of the review?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So, oddly, when I posted this at number 27, I thought this would throw out all my credibility. But I love this game. Instead, I was greeted by a ton of letters from people who loved this game. People who were rabid fans of the first Hydlide, and even people who went out and tried SH from my comments and came back saying, wow, it is good.
So that treasure chest is booby trapped now that you caught.
It's not a joke, sadly.
Yeah.
I was about to say that is a joke.
It's not a joke.
Yep, that is true. And we're gonna go to the shop again to stock up. So do you also want to read the last paragraph of that interview, Keizaron?
Sure thing, if I can get unbanned.
Well, not the last paragraph, but the last paragraph I've highlighted.
Nope, not that one.
Is it?
It's a ways in. It's about a 7-page review, and it was so cursed that I had to print each page one at a time.
How many pages is this?
He writes a love letter about Super Hydlide and its realistic physics and time of waits.
Does it start with?
Did you actually highlight it?
Yeah, I'm curious where this is supposed to
Did you
start.
highlight the entirety of the paragraph or just like the first sentence?
He's highlighted the entire thing because...
It's worth it.
I can just picture Mike just going through this. I don't know.
Okay, let me check the rations of food.
All right, I'm getting banned again, I guess, because I can't find a paragraph you want me to read. Is it the look at all these things thing?
Should be.
There you go. Man, I suck at my job.
Yes, that's it. It's the look
All right.
at all these things.
Very good. I am banned. Look at all these things gamers would revel in nowadays. A very hard game that forces you to think and scrimp and decide what you really needed to survive.
I'm going to pause you for a second because we're actually going into space. And as everyone
that's
knows,
important.
it's anti-gravity, so you fall into space.
Right.
Anyway, go on.
All right. There's one more sentence, and it is, it was Morrowind before there was Morrowind.
Yeah.
What?
Yes. Hey, it has a weight system. There's a day-night cycle. You have to sleep.
No.
You have to eat. Oh, by the way, so space is actually not random. We don't technically need the space compass. And anyone who says space is infinitely big, like all those scientists do, are very vast, it's actually a 32 by 32 grid. The spaceship, ironically, is in the lower right corner. What is randomized is the position you enter in. It is a 7 by 7 grid in the center, and you can land in any one of those squares. Because super Hydlide. And we are doing our third and last grind. And speaking of grinds, this is actually the least grindy version of the game. First off, this was originally a Japanese PC game, and you didn't get the coin trick in those versions. Then they made Super Hydlide, and then they released it to America, and then they were like, I don't think Americans want to grind as much. So they halved all of the experience requirements for the American version, which means if I were playing this on the Japanese version, I would spend at least like an extra 10 or 15 minutes like just grinding for levels.
As an American, they're right.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm killing this race of space penguins because they're a good enemy. In fact, my morality, here, let's look at it. It is a 0. The MF, my moral fiber, is a 0. I am not a very moral hero because I have been killing all the good enemies along with all the bad enemies. Now, there are two things I do need to do in the ship. I need to get the horn. And we want to kill the geysers and the space penguins. The space penguins are the best to kill because they're very easy to kill, being a good enemy, and so they put up almost no resistance. The geysers are good to kill because they give a lot of experience. Those purple knights, the Garbas, are not really good experience. So you don't want them, but you do want to get rid of them if they're taking up the screen. And let's see. And there's horn. So the horn lets us get to the City of Illusion, which is in the first dimension. And no, it's not a line. And you have time for some more donations, Patty, because I'm basically just grinding some more here.
Awesome. We've got a donation from Macaw, 45.
Ooh, I like it.
$15.
The Spicy Games champion finds a good point in every bad game, and this is a game he really loves.
He says, Mike, don't die 3 steps away from the inn, please. Hydlide is the king of games.
So, interesting fact, Hydlide is actually pretty well regarded among Japanese gamers, or at least Japanese retro gamers, and it's all a matter of timing. This game came out in 1990 in America. The original Japanese PC versions, like which are on Japanese PCs, such as PC, 98, the MSX, and the like, came out in 1987, so it's very revolutionary for its time. It is worth noting that Hideki Kamiya, the director of Bayonetta and the original Devil May Cry, says that this is one of his favorite games because it was such a hardcore game, which is honestly not wrong. And this was actually a best-selling Japanese PC game back in like the late 1980s. Also, the original Hydlide is well regarded of all games because it came out in 1984, so it's considered revolutionary back in the day. Oh, I actually have plenty of experience, so let us move to the subterranean city.
Mike, I've got a donation here from someone who actually gets it. Old Hoovian donates $25 and says, this is a $2,500 donation, but with realistic time and weight, it only comes out to about $25. It's a joke!
I love it. So we're going back to the Cave of the Dead to get the Time Door Talisman, which lets us get into the first dimension. So Keizaron, what are your thoughts on this game so far?
Your space is better than my space.
Okay,
You
so
got to do stuff.
we have an important item, the stick. We need to use it. May the divine presence be with you. It's a joke! And that is the final joke item in the game. We have completed joke percent. Woo! Yeah, jokes! Thanks everyone for donating. It was a lot of fun.
You.
It's going to turn out that's the joke, too.
All right, so we have to use the Time Door Talisman, and now we will return to the subterranean city.
There's still plenty of jokes here if you'd like to hear some.
And what's interesting about the stick, it's not actually a stick in the Japanese version. It's actually a Narita no Omamori, which is like a talisman in Japanese. Narita being a very famous city for having an airport and temple in Japan. We're gonna use the illusion spell to just get that guy off us. And, the talismans are used for all sorts of things like good luck, financial wealth, good grades and stuff like that. And, okay, we're starving. It's okay, it's okay. We're starving to death because it's 1,300 hours and I actually don't have a ration of food right now. Okay, but we can still cure ourselves. Not a joke. All right, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna zoom to the inn. Oh, wow.
I mean, when I'm hungry, it does feel like this.
It does. Okay, we got to the end. Okay. I was one ration short, but I will be buying more food rations in the shop here, so it'll all be good. Actually, do a quick check of items, and you can. We're gonna get the holy water, which lets us unlock the second to last dungeon in the game. And I'm just checking my items right now. Yeah, we're good. So feel free to read a donation.
You got it. We've got a 25 smackaroony donation from Angela147. Mike, we're awake in DC. Happy to be able to support a great cause. Who even needs an alarm clock to wake them up? And we have your amazing singing voice paired with this gaming classic. Good luck to you and the rest of the runners.
We don't need a space compass anymore because we're not going to space. And thank you, Angela.
What?
I appreciate it.
This game sucks.
I agree.
Okay, so our health is actually very high for this run, which is very good, which is going to be good for the end game. And we're going into the Forbidden Cave right about now. We're going to set the speed to fast because we don't want to be murdered right away. And it's another dark cave, so you can... But this time, it's a little easier because of the cat's eye, which acts as a flash spell. The flash spell is in the second tier of spells. Okay, good. We disarm the treasure. That treasure chest is very bad if you don't disarm it because it will trigger a silence spell, and I really need spells here. And let's use the ration of food, and that should be enough weight to be unencumbered. All right, cool. And we get the song Dragon again, the best song in the game, the rockin' power metal. And we're just gonna try to navigate through this dungeon and not get brutally murdered because this is this is
Mike, please.
This is survival horror before there was survival horror. So how many butt clenches or heart attacks are we at, NPC?
21.
Okay, that's actually pretty good. This is actually really good RNG for
You're doing great.
I mean, I've had more, but you're used.
Okay, there's 22.
22.
Oh, no, 23. Oh no, it's okay. So that enemy is a half tile below me, and that's why I couldn't hit it.
Mike, please.
I'm not trying to.
I don't believe you. It's a joke.
That skeleton is in the worst spot. I have to come out. Okay, we're good. Oh, okay.
I crushed my breakfast. You're freaking me out that much.
So this song actually has a really sick solo. I would love to sing it out for you, but we don't really have the time. We're running behind, but we set the speed to slowest for Viralis, so we can beat him fast. And wait low. Okay, I did it a little bit. So we are now good to beat up Viralis, and it's a really strategic fight of just getting him point blank and hitting him in the face. He has 400 health. 200 magic points.
What a big boy.
Will heal himself at 100 health,
Mike,
but you can bypass that. Whatever, it's fine.
Mike!
I have at least 2 health. I can see a pixel.
Why would you do this?
I have at least 1 spare hit. Yeah, he's dead.
I'm not clapping for you.
Wow, and I wasted all those claps and Animorphs. I don't know, Keys. And I was the one who actually supported you. What is this, Keizaron? I thought we were doing a commentary exchange program, know a little bit more about our games, but you're just insulting me.
I'm clapping.
Hurt my feelings, Keys.
I'm still banned.
Fair. So we're not a very good Jedi because we're about to sell our lightsaber. The lightsaber is actually useless against the final boss because it's not a ranged weapon, and you need a ranged weapon for the final boss. And so we're just restocking here. We're gonna get a ton of rations of food because the final dungeon is very long and very difficult. Like, if you didn't have enough butt clench already, well, we're gonna be keeping it tight.
Oh boy.
All right, and you have time for a donation or two.
You got it. Nikasaur donates $100.
Ooh.
She says, "It's me, one of the coins you threw in the water. Why did you abandon me? I saw you got lucky with the other coins. I should have known all along you wouldn't change. It's a joke!"
So I have the Fairy Maid mail, what I also like to call the Mail of Fairy Maid because of the translation of this game. And it has the best armor that we can afford. And let me see, yep, we got the life water, we have plenty of rations of food. I think we're good to go to the City of Illusion. So we're gonna take a slight detour here because we need the exit door talisman to be able to exit this dungeon. So the game can soft lock you in right of ways, but it won't let you save in the final dungeon, so you don't soft lock yourself. So we're gonna talk to this guy. If you have the idol statue of Viralis, you should be able to enter the Door of Time. The Door of Time is located to the northeast of this city. Once you go in, there is no way out, unless you have this talisman. Here, you can have this talisman. I no longer have any use for it. If you have the talisman, you can return through the Door of Time. No human has ever seen the Kaizak. A fairy and I went through the Door of Time together, but I think the fairy was captured by the Kaizak. See, Hydlide and Virtual Hydlide only had Viralis. We beat him, and now we're fighting the Kaizak, not just any final boss. Kaizak's weakness? Try to understand his movements. Actual good advice. The rest is up to you. Are you the chosen one? Well, I killed an entire race of space penguins, which are fighting for the greater good. I sold my lightsaber, and my morality, if it could go in the negatives, would be around -12. So I'm not a good chosen one, but I'm the one Awful Block deserves. You've been a great audience so far, and we're going to the final dungeon, which is very long and very dangerous, and I'm checking my items just to be extra safe, and we should be good to go. I think I actually forgot to equip my flaming sword, though. Yes, I did. I was role-playing the monk for a bit, being unarmed.
Mike, all I can say is...
Oh! All I can say is,
all I can say is, please. No, this has been the worst run I've seen. It's a joke! This is great. You're doing amazing.
Thank you. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, so it says it needs to be midnight, but it actually just needs to be nighttime, so you can use Statue of Viralis to get into the final dungeon. And here's the final dungeon, which I love this game's soundtrack, but this one's a little high-pitched. Just a little.
I hate this.
Oh, no. Already good start. So it's not really worth killing enemies in this dungeon because you're not going to get experience because we're not going to go back. To actually exit this dungeon, you cannot use the move spell. You actually have to go back to the very beginning where I entered. And then use the exit door talisman. We're not going to do that. The reason why we collect the exit door talisman is so we can use the camping gear. Camping gear normally costs about 200K, which is pretty much more money than we got throughout the entire game. So you normally can't afford it, but there is one in this dungeon, and we're going to use that as a marathon safety. And also, if it looks like I'm going a bit slowly through this area, you know, with the bottomless pits and the dangerous-looking dark, you know, no rails and stuff because it's not OSHA compliant, yeah, those are bottomless pits, and the Cloudstone won't save you at this point. So you will just immediately game over. So that's why I'm taking my time a little bit here to just make sure I don't die falling off here. And by the way, I do want to give some shout-outs. I did give a bit before, but Prosentia helped figure out the Tech Palace grind for this game and just been a good positive influence for the Awful Block in general. It's unfortunate that he couldn't make it to this marathon, so I'd just like to give him a big shout for just being a great presence for the Awful Block and the Cuso Grande community in general. There's also the Axeman, who actually was inspired to help me by this game because I ran an RPG Limit Break, and he really liked the game. And he was the one who helped figure out space and everything. Really helpful presence and helped me reroute the game. The record used to be a 42-31, and then I was able to push it down to a 36-41 thanks to all of the tips and info that he gave me. And he also figured out the damage formula, which is how I know how I'm butt clenching, but it doesn't matter because I'm gonna butt clench anyway. Nice. So, let's see. So we talked to the fairy. The fairy is the only way you can see Keizaron. It is your eyes. So that's Zod, as you can see in the bottom right corner. Little angry about Superman 2. In that two-dimensional prison. This is actually the two-dimensional prison that Zod is stuck in, which is why it's so angry. I mean, I'd be angry if I was stuck in this game too, so you know. And you have time for some donations while I go back and get the fairy now that I've unlocked its prison.
You thought it was a joke, but it was me, Dio! Thank you, Dio Brandon, for the $10. Mozg donates $500. Thank you for the awesome event. Let's beat cancer. Let's beat it. Tactical Sausage with $20. This is a good one. What sound does a frog make? It's a croak!
Yay! There's the fairy.
Like that joke
Thank you for saving me. Now let's go at Keizaron. I will become your eyes. So
Get the camping
here's the
gear.
fairy. You've cruelly plucked out its eyes just so you can see Keizaron. Being a low morality hero, just not a very good person, but you gotta save the day somehow. And we're gonna do one more thing before we actually go to the final boss, which is get the camping gear. This is technically not necessary, but I want to get this because I want to be able to save before Keizaron. Because dying Keizaron with the camping gear, you maybe lose 30 to 40 seconds if you fail Keizaron. Dying without the camping gear, I have to do this entire dungeon all over again, and it is over 5 minutes. I have to approach this treasure chest from the top. There's actually a trap tile to the left of it. If I touch that, it will actually teleport me to earlier in the dungeon. So we're gonna open up with magic, camping gear, probably gonna be encumbered. Yeah, that's fine. We can throw away our money. Money does have weight in this game, which is really convenient, which is great for managing all of your weight and everything. And let's see. Oh no, I can use my bundles of herbs. That should be okay, yeah. Oh no, it's not. Still pissed about Superman 2. And let's see. So Keizaron, we're actually getting into the end stretch of the game. So what are your thoughts on this game?
Let me just take a peek here. Oh, you're gonna be underestimated. That's not fair. No, it's a video game.
It is a video game. I actually really like this game. It's very action-packed. There's no downtime. Really gets your adrenaline pumping because it's always exciting. So how many butt clenches are we at NPC?
28.
That's actually just a shockingly low number. I was expecting more like 40 or 50.
Well, I can change the number if you want me to.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I will still donate $10 per butt clench. It's all good for this donation drive. And ow. Okay, and we're about to fight the final boss. The final boss takes a lot of explanation. I'm not really gonna have time to explain it. Basically, you have to pop its pimples, shoot it in the mouth so it's not shooting fireballs at you. Thank you, Zod. And let's see, where's the strong? Oh no, I have strong medicine. That's good. And we're gonna use the illusion spell to get this enemy away from me. And okay, we're good. So we are going to use the camping gear to set a save point. Where is the camping gear? There it is. So item locations are somewhat randomized, which is why I'm sometimes stumbling around the menus. Time to sleep, good night, and we're good to go. We do want to use the fake medicine to make sure we're invincible, so we have full health for the boss, because this is actually where the health comes into play. I'm gonna check my life water, see it's attached. We are good to go. And we're gonna change the speed to fastest, because that is the best way to kill this boss. So are you all ready for Keizaron?
The Keizaron.
The Keizaron. I'm sorry, Liz. Gotta respect the lore. As the lore master of Super Hydlide, if you have the world record in this game, you can be the lore master, like me. Welcome, mortals. I am Keizaron, the Lord in Darkness and your creator. It is a pity you must die here. You can see me, but can you destroy me? Well, let's see. So we gotta hit the mouth so it's not shooting at us. We gotta pop the pimples so we can actually kill this boss.
Hate it.
It's a Blaster Master boss.
Oh no, I hate it.
What is that?
It's Keizaron.
The Keizaron.
Oh yeah, the Keizaron.
All right, that's fine. So Keizaron, how do you think I defeat this boss?
That.
Actually, you need to give a stomachache. Time will be when my health starts dropping, it says I have acquired. Time. So I would love to show off the ending of this game. Unfortunately, we're running way behind schedule. So this game actually has a very weird twist ending. Basically, Keizaron says, I created this universe. By mere mortal like me, I created this universe. The fairies, everything, fairyland, woo! And then he goes, but I made one mistake. I created you in my likeness. Only you are my antithesis. And which is basically, the game is implying that Keizaron is God and you're the devil. And after that, the whole world explodes. It says, it's me, Dio. It was floating in the emptiness, and then through Deus Ex Machina, the world is restored. And my only request is, what was my time?
53:13.
Higher than Animorphs. Suck it, Mike.
Fair enough. Anyway, that's Super Hydlide, so I hope everyone enjoyed that. And if you thought this game was too fast and too good, we're going to Hoshio Miruhito, so stay tuned for that.
Well, Mike, thank you for that. I guess we're gonna run a quick Twitch ad, and then we got an interview before our next awful game. Be right back. Welcome back to Awful Games Done Quick. My name's Patty, P-A-T-T-Y. I'm your host for the first part of this awful block. We've got a donation here for $50 from Paradigmic. Awful Games block never disappoints. Well, that's an opinion that you're allowed to have. But we've got another thing that never disappoints. Looks like we've got an interview right now with Jhobz about Wild Animal Sports Day? Take it away, Jhobz.
That's right, Patty. We have an interview about Wild Animal Sports Day. What is it? I don't know. Let's find out. I am joined by 4 folks over here. We got Zick, we got Bullets, Scrublord, and Sneaky in that order. Welcome, gentlemen. How are you doing?
Fantastic.
Yeah. Does it feel like 5 a.m. to you?
Oh, yes.
Very sleep deprived right now. Don't worry.
Now, my first question to you is that the proper way to be speedrunning Wild Animal Sports Days, sleep deprived?
I'm not sure if there's a proper way to speedrun Wild Animal Sports Day, but we're going to find out in a couple hours.
Okay, what is Wild Animal Sports Day? For everybody out there who has no idea, like me right now, sitting on this chair.
It's wild.
There's some sports.
Man,
kind of.
I thought for sure you were going to go wild.
You think we have this planned out?
Yeah, no.
We don't plan anything.
We're surprised we made it this far.
Honestly.
So we have seen you all here before running in Awful Block in Bear 3000, 2000. 2000. Well, maybe 3000 next year. But now you're back with yet another ridiculous game. What is it that draws you to these games? How do you find them? What's going on here?
Oh man,
I'm gonna pass this down here.
Yeah. The process basically, you find a game online, one of us does, and then we just point at it, laugh at it, play it.
Browsing new
Finish how it
Steam
goes.
releases is probably the best way to find the worst of the worst.
I think Sneaky says he's gone through so many awful games at this point that it's all Steam recommends him in his recommended games.
My Explorer is just terrible.
That's fantastic. I gotta get in on this. So I'm gonna go start searching for new games on Steam. But I did want to actually ask just one serious question. What is 600%? Like what is the category? How does this work? How are you divvying it up?
Sure.
How's this run gonna work?
So there's going to be 8 sporting events throughout the game. The 8 events are always the same, but the order that they come out is going to be completely random. So none of us know which games we have to play when we go up there. But each game you get a rating from 0 to 100% based on how well you do.
Well.
And you have to do...
Let it finish. We'll get to you.
We'll get there. And you need at least 600% between the 8 games to topple King Croc, who holds the crown.
Ah, okay. Yes, of course.
The deep lore.
Yes, it sounds like it. Now, what are you about to say?
I believe it's trampolining that we've only been able to get 94% in.
Yeah. Literally impossible.
Yeah.
Speaking of not living up to your standards, how has your practice gone for this game?
I'm amazed we didn't get kicked out of the practice room. We had many people playing very serious speed games around us, practicing hard for the event. And then we were just losing our minds in the practice room playing this. We learned some new strats from a Japanese tutorial video we found. We had a run that didn't reach 600%, but we still beat the game. So now we're kind of really unsure of how you beat the game.
I heard that there were some shenanigans with a mouse.
There are like 2.5 mice in the practice room. So there's one that's like not that great. So we opted to take it because we'd need a mouse to open the game.
But no other reason.
There's no other reason.
Okay, well, surprisingly, we have some social media questions about this game at 5 in the morning. I'm going to ask one from EJ Orenji. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that. I'm so sorry. But they asked, what's something unique to this run that you don't typically see in other games? And don't say animals, don't say sports, and don't say that they're wild.
Well, usually in most games, like 10% or like 50% of it makes sense. 0% of this game makes sense. Just none of the games make sense. None of them are played normally. Tennis plays, don't want to spoil it because it's very important, but tennis is played completely how you're not supposed to do it. Hurdles, it's great. Yeah.
None of it goes how it's supposed to go.
Yeah, and there's another sport called diving where it gives you 0 explanation and just throws you in. And whenever you dive, you just get 0 points unless you do some really specific movement. It makes no sense.
I think that's pretty much all of them. You're just thrown into a ring and they're like, get percent.
Do stuff.
Figure it out.
All right, sure, that sounds great. Well, let's go ahead and ask another one from, sorry, some of these are coming in very last minute for us here.
Did you think you were gonna have this many options of questions?
I did not at all. I guess I'll ask this because maybe the answer is different, but from at Ryudan X, they asked, how did you find this horrible piece of software entertainment? Was it just by diving on Steam, or did somebody recommend this one to you? Were you diving around on speedrun.com? Where'd you find this one?
We found it on Speedrun. I would say we. I found it on speedrun.com.
So you're to blame.
It's my fault. I didn't want to buy it. Sneaky bought it. We played it for 2 years. We're like, why don't we just submit it? It'd be funny. It's not going to get accepted. Nah, and now we're here.
We had this thing on a PC in AGDQ2020 in the practice room, and it was every person that walked by just stopped and stared and watched the whole run. And then they'd be like, I'm not sure what I watched, but I stayed for the whole thing.
Well, and in context for everybody out there, staying for the whole thing is about 7.5 minutes. So it's not that much of a commitment. But as much as I would love to see if we can make this interview longer than your run, I think I'm just gonna have to end it there. Thank you all, gentlemen. I do wanna see though, Sent, you're always around, always awake at every hour. What you got for us with prizes, man? Are there any prizes that you wanna show us? No. All right. Well, thank you, Sent. Wait, what's this? What's going on? Hold on. I think there's something over here that's trying. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there it is. Thank you, crowd. All right, with that, remember, everybody, there are so many prizes that you can get in the running for by going to gamesdonequick.com. Check out all the prizes. Be sure to donate. Lots of lovely prizes all the way down here. So many. Right there, all of them eligible. Please, gamesdonequick.com, donate, and find all the prize information there. I'm going to throw it back up to Patty because, man, we are all tired.
Blue moon, now I'm no longer. Oh, sorry, I was in my happy place. Just partway through that interview, I just had to check out. Hey, welcome back to Awful Games Done Quick. We've got a quick $5 donation from Eli, not Ellie. Lads on the couch, scratch your ear and smile if you're being held against your will. And with that,